Call meeting to order. Let the record show all board members are present. Do you have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion's moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, first thing on our agenda. Recognitions. Annabelle Rain Johnson, Mapscott Elementary. National Bus Safety Poster Contest winner.
Good afternoon, Dr. Starcher, President Ford. We'll put her picture up here.
You go to Mapscott?
Ready now? Good afternoon, President Ford, board members, Superintendent Dr. Starcher. It's not often that transportation gets to do recognition, so it's a wonderful time for us. But here we're to recognize the National School Bus Safety Poster Contest. Every year, thousands of school districts across 40 states participate in local and state level competitions to select artwork that depicts school bus safety related themes and encourages and promotes school bus safety. The winning posters are used to promote safer school bus transportation for everyone. State winners advance to national contest. The 24-25 National Poster Contest aims to select posters that best depict the theme, safety first, safety always. So this individual also won here at the state level with the West Virginia Department of APT. She won first place in division. And now we have honored to have Annabelle Johnson, who's won second place in Division II of the National School Bus Safety Poster Contest. It says, congratulations to Annabelle, the district, the state of West Virginia, and the outstanding achievement. Annabelle will receive a $100 prize that will be sent to her home address. She received a $75 prize from the state of West Virginia when she won the first time back in the spring. And to our knowledge, this is the first national winner we've ever had. So she's the first in Raleigh County. We're not sure about the state has had one, but we know she's first in Raleigh County. This is her picture that she drew here. We'll be seeing it this coming year when we start doing the school bus safety poster contest again. So at this time, I'd like to have Annabelle Johnson come up, and Dr. Starcher and the board member, if you all would like to take a picture with her. Annabelle, if you want to come up.
Get her.
If I may, I will add that we're currently working with a local printer. We're hoping to have posters printed for each of our schools to display at least starting the month of October, which is Bus Safety Month. So we're going to use her poster and have that hanging in all of our schools. And we're going to have one made for the transportation department here as well. So thank you so much. We're so very proud of you.
Congratulations, Annabelle. Okay. Okay, we have delegations, agenda items, none. Non-agenda items, none. Communication reports, board members, Dr. Stark, or Dr. Hutchins, excuse me.
Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm just kind of sad that summer's almost over and school has started back. It's just really hard to imagine. I think I'm getting old or something. I don't know. And I would like to say, and I'm sure all the other board members too, that it was really great to have the breakfast yesterday to celebrate ACT and all their accomplishments. It's so nice when we see not only an entire school, but a young person in Raleigh County excel. So that was just really, really nice. And I did attend the Honey Festival, and I know that I didn't see the school system there this year, but lots of their people were there, and that's a big part of Raleigh County anymore is the beekeepers. So that was really nice too. So thank you.
Ms. Smith?
Like everybody else, attended the breakfast yesterday honoring ACT and then the county health fair. And I also went to the Honey Festival because I thought we had a booth, but I really enjoyed, as Charlotte said, we had a lot of our employees there working and representing the schools. And the ACT food trailer was there, and they were doing a good business. Everybody in there was just working together. It was a good, positive thing for Raleigh County schools.
Thank you. Ms. Ambry?
I guess I could go ditto. Honey Festival was great. I usually get enough honey to last me till the next Honey Festival, but we got some extra today, so that's really good. My great granddaughter, I should say, I met with her after school. She had a great first day. So, yeah, that makes me happy. That's it for me.
Mr. Snuffer?
The breakfast yesterday was wonderful, and the only thing I wanted to say about that was, and I didn't really get to say it yesterday, but our ACT, sometimes they get overlooked, I think, because they do such a good job. And as a no vocational teacher, you're in your own little world because you don't have sports, you don't have the other things a normal high school environment has. It's a whole different environment in school. You have adults that are there being trained and stuff, and they just plug along and excel all the time. I think we get used to that. We kind of get, that's the norm. It's been that way in Raleigh County so long. So I was really happy that they got national recognition, and we in Raleigh County are just blessed to have that available to our students and our citizens. And hopefully the legislature will stay out of it. We can keep the adult education there too, because we just do a great job. We do a really great job doing that. And those people are serviced. And people don't realize the placement rate that the ACT has is like in the 90s, the jobs that people come out there and get. And these are high paying jobs. I always see people kind of saying, yeah, well, you don't need to go to college, you need to do this, whatever. Yeah, I don't think it's anti-college. I think it's just some people are better suited to that. You need electricians, you need carpenters, you need diesel mechanics, whatever it may be. The people with CDLs, driving things, computer tech, and those are good jobs. And a lot of those people become entrepreneurs and set up their own business. So I was just really proud of them and what they did. Also, I didn't get to go down. I was by there, but they had Meet the Raiders on Friday night. They had an excellent turnout at Liberty. The whole community comes out. They recognize all the fall sports there at the campus. And it's just a really nice event for them to do. I didn't mention last meeting. I want to mention again that some of you may be aware of this, but Liberty and Shea Springs had a number of students, I think around 20, between two schools, at the West Virginia State Fair exhibiting their projects, their FFA and 4-H projects, and they did very well. It's a really good event. It gets a lot of kids involved over the summer, and it's a project they start. Some of them start here in a few months, actually. Will buy their calves for next year or their lambs in the spring, and they go through it. So it's a really good thing for Raleigh County to do that. The last thing was they had the fencing up at the tennis courts at Liberty and on the football field. The tracks are finished. Maybe you guys going to report tonight, but that looks really good. I would hope, and I've talked to Dr. Starcher and I've talked to Mr. Dillon about hopefully we can somehow either rebid in the future or do something now to complete the fencing. We have beautiful fence around the thing, and then we come into the old fence. So the old fence doesn't look too bad. You get the new fence next to it. And at Liberty, we've got bobber on top of ours, so it kind of looks like we may be a penal institution up there, okay? So It does keep people from getting into the game though. But we have our barbed wire around there and stuff, and to do it. But so hopefully we can get that finished up. But it did make a big difference, and I know we're going to do Shady and Liberty or Independence next year. But just a good job. And as Marie said, I talked to both of my grandkids, and they were all excited and had a really good day. Liberty kind of had a neat thing. They had a red carpet entryway for all their seniors, which was kind of neat. They rolled out the red carpet, and the seniors got to walk in on the red carpet, which was kind of a cool event. When I was there, they just said, get off the bus and get in class, you know. It wasn't that stuff like that, but it was a really nice day. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I attended a wellness fair over at the Armory. Super turnout. A lot of people, a lot of kids. And thank you, Miss Smith and the Dream Center for the wonderful breakfast yesterday.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. And today I had a chance to go to Shady Elementary, Stratton. I'm sorry, not Stratton. Stanford, Beckley Elementary, and Maxwell Hill, and visited with the kids' first day of school. And they all seem to be excited. And I was excited about Maxwell Hill. They had 50 students more than they thought they was going to have. So they're growing up there. So we appreciate kids wanting to go to Maxwell Hill. That's all I have. Dr. Starcher.
So yes, today was our first day, and you always have hiccups and things that you have to work through. But I just want to recognize our schools. We made it through the first day, and it's all smooth sailing from here, right? First day's under their belt, so the days will get a little easier. And I know we had some little challenges, but we made it through, and that's a testament to our schools and our staff. So thank you, and the staff here in this room. I also noted, I really did want to thank Miss Smith and the Dream Center. The breakfast for ACT came together very quickly, and I appreciate her and her staff doing that. It was a wonderful breakfast, and it's always great to be able to recognize our schools for the wonderful work they do. Speaking of wonderful work, I know everybody's been very, very busy. So I run the risk of offending someone, and I don't mean that, but I mean to do that. But I want to recognize a few people sitting here tonight. Mr. Daniel, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Dillon. We've had various facility issues. I'll just call them issues over the last week, 2 weeks that were not expected. They've spent many hours in the evenings and on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, so that we could be as well positioned to open school today as we could. So I want to thank the three of them and recognize them. Again, that's not to slight the work of anyone else, but they've really had to put in many extra hours so that we could open today. So I do want to say that. In terms of Mr. Dillon, several of you mentioned the wellness fair. He will be doing a presentation on that, I believe, at the next meeting. But that's another huge event that Mr. Dillon oversees and organizes. So he was a ladybug this year. So we appreciate that. I think the students enjoyed it. And it's just another wonderful opportunity we provide for our students and families here in Raleigh County. The last thing I would like to say is I feel like it's a drum roll, please, but the park gym opened today. And it's been a long time coming, but we were able to see during a construction meeting, we saw students in the gym. There are bleachers in the gym. We have some tweaks that we need to make, but none of that prevented us from having class in the gymnasium today. So again, thank you to that community for its patience. And the rest of the project is moving along. We do anticipate that the ISS room and the breezeway, the new breezeway, will open next Tuesday. So that leaves us with the band room. The band room is going to be closed for a while. So Dr. Harris and his staff are working to make sure the students have band in a different part of the building. But the ISS room will open on Tuesday. which is a good thing. So anyway, the project's moving along. The concession stand, as of now, it's anticipated December, mid to late December, I believe, that the concession stand should open. And that's now. That's barring any delays of any sort. And then the phase 2 of the project is to be completed right now in March. We do anticipate that will be a little later, given some issues we ran into with the band room and some drainage. But hopefully by the beginning of the school year next year, that's what we're hoping for, is that phase of the project will be complete. At our next meeting, I will be bringing, so that's what I have with Park. And then at our next meeting, I do plan to bring a needs project to you. They're due September 12th to the School Building Authority. I plan to bring Woodrow Wilson High School back to you for approval to submit to the SBA. That's all I have.
What on Park? What about the where the old gym was? Where they're doing the pylons and the parking there. What's the timetable on that? That's a different,
I don't. That's all part of phase 2, and Mr. Dillon and Mr. Daniel attend all of those. But that's part of phase 2.
Okay.
So the only date I have is March, but you may have a more specific date for the pylon part.
Okay, good deal.
Okay. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Will there be any concessions? What about a food truck?
I don't know that we will have a food truck. We've not spoken with Dr. Harris, but we'll try to figure something out for concession stands. Yes, we're very limited on space there with the footprint for the construction. We have phase 1 going on. We have phase 2 going on. We're very limited on the footprint. So we can speak with Dr. Harris and see if there's something we can arrange during this transition.
Okay, thanks. Okay, moving right along. Other reports. Carrie, Mr. Daniel, Fuel Facilities and Maintenance Report. And Mr. Dillon. Need a chair to sit down, Gary?
It's getting better every day. A second. President Ford, members of the board, Superintendent Starcher, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight on some of the summer programs that we've been working on. By no means does this cover all the tasks that are taking place in the county, but you will see many pictures tonight. Since August 1st, about the time principals were back in the buildings, we've received 400, at the end of business today, 488 work order requests. Of those, over 280 have been completed in that time frame. We still have a long ways to go, but the work orders come in quickly. It's a long distance from school to school, but our men work hard every day trying to meet the needs of the schools. First, you'll see Fairdale's bus awning under construction, and it's designed so 2 buses can unload at one time. There's the awning completed. Another view. Here is Beckley Stratton's awning in the back of the school where the special needs buses unload. Under construction. And with the concrete poured, everything complete. in the front of Beckley Stratton bus awning. And there's the completed project. I know they've been waiting a long time for that. Also at Beckley Stratton, last year the summer paint crew painted the second floor of Beckley Stratton. This year they painted the first floor, and they did a great job. We did paving projects this year at 11 different sites across the county. Some were large, some were small. You know, potholes, filling in ditches. But this is Clear Fork Elementary, the new bus lane, and the full parking lot with the parking spots striped. At Park Middle School, the bus lane was striped, and the parent pickup teacher parking area was paved and striped. Mabscott Elementary. At Mabscott, they had asked for additional parking, so we created 11 new parking spots. And they paved the playground area plus the basketball court. And here you can see Mabscott's playground where our summer crew applied new mulch. Keep the students safe. Now, this happened at several schools. This is the only photo you'll see. Paving at Independence High School and the bus lane. 375 feet by 30 feet. Well, I think it was 40 feet in the front of Independence. At Coal City Elementary, we paved the trike area for the preschool students to ride their tricycles. The fence was repaired when paving was complete. Trap Hill, the parent pickup entrance and exit. There was a large pothole there. And then at Woodrow and many other places, like I said, it was just the patching. 14 spots at Woodrow were patched. At Daniels Elementary, our maintenance guys painted the awnings in the front, and I think there was 13 outside doors they painted. Also at Daniels, a new cafeteria ceiling, the grid and the ceiling tiles were installed. The Daniels kitchen got a new ceiling and ceiling tiles and grid. At Liberty's Kitchen, we installed a new ceiling grid, tiles, and HVAC vents. At any point, if you have a question, don't hesitate. That's what Mr. Dillon's here for. We painted, our painters painted the transportation office and the transportation director's office. You know, I worked in that office for many years, and it was never painted, but Mr. Tony got it painted in 6 months. I'm not a jealous man, though. That's right. That's right. He knew people. This is special ed's basement hallway. Looks pretty rough, but the new epoxy flooring went in. Looks a tremendous difference. Gent Elementary, you can see the floor tile being stripped away and the hallway with the tile completely gone. One of the classrooms with new tile being installed. And the kitchen with new epoxy floor going in. Cove base had not been put in there yet. It was still lacking the top coat. Hallway, once the tile was complete, cove base was installed partway, not completely yet. And here's a classroom with the new flooring in, and the custodians put it back together. Looks like it never happened, except it's got new flooring. At Bradley Elementary, they finished the flooring there. The tile had been stripped from the hallway, glue going down, and the new tile installed. Bradley Elementary also got new basketball goals installed this summer. Look great. I know those had been needed for a while. Liberty High School got new carpet in the auditorium. Now, we also put it in Independence High School, but that was back in March. It didn't really take place over the summer. But the carpet complete. School's very happy. And then the track projects. Here you can see Woodrow with the new surface being installed. That's what it looked like after the entire surface was down. And you can see the new paving on the right, the new vinyl fencing in black, and the running surface. Here's after your stripes have been applied to the track. And if you look on the left, the new pavement, that's where the grassy area was taken out between the track and the fence. That'll make a lot of custodians happy. They don't have to mow and weed eat that and then blow the grass off the track. There's a look from the home bleachers after completion and a look from above. You can see the entire stadium. At Liberty, the rubber surface was being removed and the new surface being installed. That's after one layer and then the men applying the second layer. They got 7 layers of rubber surface plus UV protection. That's what it looked like upon completion. Same thing at Liberty. You can see the new fence and then where the grass was removed between the home bleachers and the track. Look from up on the hill on the visitor side, and then a look with the lines installed. Looks beautiful. I played football at Liberty, and there is no prettier place in the county to play football on a fall Friday night. It's right. It is. It's the best facility. And I look from above. I love that. Liberty's tennis courts with the fence coming down. Now the tennis court installers came to Beckley today. They will start at Woodrow. It'll take about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Then they will go to Liberty. Woodrow's fence coming down and the new fence being installed around the tennis court. Going back to Liberty's fencing, the company will be in town next week to check the progress of the tennis courts. And at that time, we will review the fencing at Liberty and Woodrow, possibly doing a change order for the current contract.
For here, it'd be nice to look at and see what they can give us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe they can do it at a better price rather than having a new company come in, remove the poles, remove the concrete, put it in. They can put the sleeves over the poles, which would be a tremendous savings. Okay, this is Park Middle School gym at the beginning of the summer with scaffolding out front. And it was nice to see students inside the gym today and the teachers getting to utilize their space that they've been waiting for. Men laying brick in the front entrance. And the sidewalk being, the old sidewalk taken out, being prepared for new concrete. Concrete complete for the sidewalk. This is where the concession stand will go. They are preparing to start that this week. And they constructed this temporary wall to keep students out of the construction zone while they're going to the PE class. Gym floor being installed and gym floor complete. Road runners displayed prominently on the floor. There is a legend of maintenance, C.D. Jones, overseeing bleacher installation.
That's great.
And you can see a view from the other side while the bleachers were going in. Bleachers complete. Wall pads. That yesterday when I was there, the wall pads were still against the wall. They did install them yesterday evening. So that is complete. You can see the scoreboard in the background. It does work. It's functional. Inside the locker room, new lockers, new flooring, just nice benches to change clothes. Restroom area. Both bathrooms are pretty much identical in the locker rooms. And there's private showers. When we was in school, there was one shower in the middle and 20 guys running in circles around it. It wasn't a fun time. Now it's nice and private. Out. Huh? Yeah, I can imagine. On the College Avenue side, this is the public entrance, public exit. Steps installed, and they're preparing to pour the sidewalk. This is the stormwater retention system. Big project they had to do. Stormwater retention being covered, and then topsoil down, ready for seeding. A look at the sidewalk in the back on the College Avenue side. This is around College Avenue where the students will eventually exit the building, go up the steps into the back of the gym. This will be covered by a canopy and awning. And then you can see topsoil on the side. And in the very far distance, you can see they've already had straw down where they sowed grass. Inside the auditorium, work taking place. And over by the windows, there was a lot of condensation over the years that had deteriorated the plaster. That was repaired and painted. The stairs coming into the auditorium, a new glass railing was installed, and they installed the handrail for the steps yesterday evening also. Up in the balcony, a new glass safety railing. And around back, the H pillars, 36 H pillars were installed. You can see the size of the holes they had to drill to get these in. Now look, of all 36, once it was complete. In the middle of the screen, you see the concrete lagging that'll go between the pillars. Those have started going in, and you can see a crane here loading one down. The breezeway, as Dr. Starchin mentioned, being enclosed with cinder block, and then the cinder block was covered with brick, matches the old building pretty well. Inside, men working, closing in the breezeway. And the new sidewalk that was built on the back side of the breezeway for the new parking lot. This is a look from the ISS room where the new staircase will go. You can see the square at the bottom. The stairs will go down and a concrete pad will be poured there. Still a lot of work to do in the band room. Our roofing project for this summer. This is Woodrow Wilson High School. The lower left corner is the gym. That roof was replaced last summer. You can tell because it's white or lighter colored gray. And then at the top left is D-wing. That was also replaced last summer. This year we're replacing C-wing. If you look to the right, you can see the track resurfacing taking place. The roofing on C-wing was stripped down to the metal decking. And you can see from above the construction in progress. Here they are laying the rigid insulation for the roof. And that on the right is gypsum board as part of the roofing installation. The insulation is screwed directly to the metal decking. And this is the base sheet of roofing that is applied with hot asphalt. More of the base sheet going over the gypsum board. And attaching both layers of roofing to the edge boards.
Put a new wheat thing for the brick on top. That goes into the brick.
Yes.
Trouble leaking sometimes.
Yes.
Put a new thing on it.
Yes. And the company we work with does a great job of building slopes so the water drains to the roof drains. You know, we don't have the problem of water standing on our roof like we had in the past.
That's always been a problem. Flat roofing. That, sooner or later you're going to have a pooling problem. This is the cap sheet, the final step of the building up the roof, and a hood vent for an exhaust being tied into the new roof. You can see the lighter color of this roof. I find it far superior to what we've used. Rather than a 60 millimeter thin layer of rubber, this roof system that we're installing at Woodrow, and we did Coal City last year, is over 300 milliliters
which makes it millimeters, which makes it a lot more durable. Our men have to get on the roofs a lot to check the HVAC system, and you have a rock in your shoe where a thin piece of rubber, you can poke it quickly, and then you have to get up and patch the roof. But this is a lot more durable. This is the cap sheet going on across the roof. This is an example of the roofing system we're using at Woodrow and we did at Coal City. You can see first you have the metal decking and then the insulation screwed directly to the decking, the gypsum board with a layer of adhesive to the insulation, then a layer of hot asphalt, a base sheet of roofing, another layer of hot asphalt, then the cap sheet. Once they put the cap sheet on, you apply a UV layer of protection that keeps the material from degrading from the sun. Also, this will save on energy over time because compared to black roofing that gets very hot, on a 100-degree day, you can lay your hand on this roof and don't even feel the heat. Huh?
You can't even get on those old.
No, sir.
Even 80s.
No, sir. All right, at Daniels Elementary, the playground project has begun. A lot of trees and dozer work took place. Here's trees being removed and loaded onto dump trucks. And then the dozer took out all the topsoil, piled it on the sides so that it can be used later to cover up the compaction dirt to plant grass. And you can see the compaction taking place in the back. This is the side with the current playground. This summer, our maintenance men installed a new scoreboard. This is with our own maintenance equipment that the board purchased. Thank you very much. This is a new scoreboard for Shady High School softball. At Liberty High School, our men installed a concrete pad that connects the main building to the greenhouse to the VOAG room. And then with the picnic tables and benches installed, it makes a nice little meeting area. Possibly could be used as an outdoor classroom. At Woodrow, the picture on the left, on the far left, you can see a drain that has been clogged for a long time. Our guys clean it out, but it had been crushed. So last year, after a heavy rain, there would be 1.5 feet of water that everybody was driving through as you go onto Woodcrest. On the right, you can see a zoomed in view of that drain. Well, our men dug up the old culvert. There's a look at it. It was in rough shape. And here we are installing the new culvert. At Shady Elementary, our summer crew did a lot of landscaping this year. After the playground and construction at Shady Elementary, the fields in the back had a lot of rocks and bare spots. So they got all the rocks out, leveled it up with topsoil, planted new grass. Here you can see 2 HVAC 25-ton rooftop units loaded on the maintenance truck. This summer, we installed 3 units at Liberty High School, 2 units at Stanford, and these 2 units here went to Hollywood Elementary. Crane taking off the old unit. The new rooftop unit being loaded, ready to come up. And there it is, completely installed into the existing roof curb. We didn't have to make any modifications to the roof curb or the roof. Fit perfect. And lastly, I personally want to thank the board for the new garbage truck. This will make such a difference this year, making our department more efficient and safer for the driver and people around him.
I saw that thing at Woodrow yesterday, as a matter of fact, I was like, man, oh.
I think they need flames on the side of it, maybe, or maybe have a contest, someone to paint the garbage truck.
That's what we could do. That's a good suggestion.
Because it looks really nice, but you need to have something stands out that's Board of Education garbage truck.
Well, there'll be lettering on it.
Yeah.
And there'll be a sticker on the back, property of Raleigh County Schools.
Yeah.
Are there any questions on the projects we presented tonight?
I don't have a question. I got a comment.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you all would be available to help the construction crew out at Shady on the road project? Because it's not going, it's not going anywhere.
I tell you, I had to work at a school Saturday, and I sat 40 minutes on the way to one of the schools, and in 45 minutes right in front of Glade Springs Saturday afternoon.
Oh, you were lucky.
And that's a weekend.
Yeah. And it looks like you all really had a busy summer, and it's certainly appreciated.
We have good men who work hard, but we also get a lot of support from you.
It's obvious. I mean, I've bugged them some on the Liberty projects and asked questions and stuff, and they've always got right back to me. But we had a wet summer early, so I'm sure there were a lot of kinks and stuff and delays and things, but they stayed on it. And I just can't say enough about maintenance and Mr. Daniel and Mr. Dillon here overseeing that projects. And Park, I think that you guys have done as good a job as anybody could do, considering the hand that's been dealt to us. That's, to be honest with you, we weren't dealt the best hand by some other people. So you've done a great job there, and I'm really proud of it. And when you look at the Liberty Field, the Woodrow Field, now I know they're athletic fields, people say, well, that's athletics, but that's the whole campus for that school. A lot of people, the only thing they see about Liberty is the athletic facility.
Absolutely.
And that casts their view or their feeling for the whole school. Well, that's where I want my kids to go to school at. Well, I've had all kinds of people from Wyoming County, Fayette County, Summers County say, man, your new fields, the way they look, the way we painted the emblems and stuff. I mean, I'm kind of prejudiced to Winter Liberty, the way it stands out there.
No.
I mean, just look at it. I mean, the color of it is something else. I mean, they did a good job. I didn't pick that color. I wasn't even in favor of it to start with, but I think it did great. It really did. It stood out there. And so it's really good. And I don't think there'll be any little Johnnies or little whatever getting their heads wet anymore. I say, we put the covers out, or the canopies out of almost every school now. And I make fun of that a little bit, but we have reached out and tried to accommodate those, even though some of those schools are pretty new. They did, we didn't put in architecture, put a canopy in it, but we came back and done those. So we have parent drop off or bus drop off or whatever, no matter what the weather is, we've got a way to shelter them from the elements.
I put our maintenance department up against anyone in the state.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I've been with Raleigh County Schools for a long time. A long time I've been with Raleigh County Schools. And as we said earlier, ACT has always been a shining star for us.
Absolutely.
Kind of a hidden secret out there, and they do wonderful, wonderful work. But another hidden secret is our maintenance department.
Yep.
And I've been all over this state and in many school systems, and they aren't near as blessed to have a maintenance department like ours, or the dedicated, skilled people that we have. So I think that's another thing that we should be extremely proud of.
And running on short.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, running on.
They have always done an excellent job.
do a great
Just
job.
persevered through everything.
And he's here tonight. A lot of the credit goes to Mr.
Oh, I
Jones.
know, Charlie.
He knows where
We're going to have a statue. Statue.
Yeah.
Coming.
And you showed it on the one school, but I was on the Fairlawn one day, and I said, they're shoveling all that mulch out of there, the old mulch, okay? So they're down there with their little skid steer, but they also have shovels, okay? They're shoveling all that out, and then a couple of days later, they brought new mulch back, put it all in there, okay? So, it looks great. It looks great what they did there after the playgrounds. But we
Thank you
appreciate
all.
it. Thanks for your report.
Okay, thank you all. Now you can plan on next summer. Okay. General assessment. Data, Ms. Lowry?
Okay, here we go. Hey, good evening, Dr. Starcher, President Ford, and board members. I also have some great things to show you tonight and have been excited to share this with you. You have in front of you, you should have a copy of the PowerPoint that we'll be going over, but also you have all the data in some chart form that you have, a chart form that you have there as well as we go through this. So the accountability assessment data was released since our last board meeting, and I'm going to go through that with you this evening, and we have a lot to celebrate. So the first set of celebrations is based on Raleigh County. So Raleigh County this year was ranked 10th in math, and we were 13th last year in 2024. So in all of West Virginia, we're 10th in math. We are ranked 9th in ELA. We were 11th last year. 17th in science, and we were 22nd in 2024. And we are ranked 13th on School Digger. That is one drop from last year. School Digger state ranking that I talked to you about earlier, they use proficiency rates. School Digger uses scale scores, and so that's the difference that we have there. Just for some school celebrations, our math growth, we had 19 of 26 schools increase their math proficiency, and 20 of 26 increased their ELA proficiency. 14 of 26 increased science. And in the math accountability targets that is on the balanced scorecard, we had 20 of 26 meet their annual targets, which is very good. And for ELA, we had 19 of 26 meet their targets. All high schools increased in their state rankings, and all middle schools increased in math proficiency. So we take a look here. This is the county rankings. So you'll see Putnam was first last year, and Ohio's taken that over. We are 13th, and we are really wanting to work our way up there. That is my goal and our team's goal. We really want to see ourselves in that top 10. Even though we are on math and reading, this is School Digger rankings that use the scale scores. And we are going to start working more with scale scores because that's where you see your growth. So even though maybe someone's not proficient with standards, are they growing towards that proficiency is what we're really going to work for. And here you see Raleigh County compared to West Virginia. So we have continued to increase in math. We're up 2% from last year, and 3% in math, 3% in ELA, and 1% in science. Also, the state increased as well. So, we're excited. We're 3%. I'm sorry, Raleigh County is 3% in math. The state was 2%. We're up with the state 3% in ELA, and then you'll see science there. So we're 1 below the state in science, but we're above in all the 2 other areas. And also, if you have any questions, you can ask throughout. I have Mr. Dillon with me as well. So. So high school rankings, this is once again based on School Digger and scale scores. You'll see that Shady Spring High gained 19 places, Liberty 4, Independence 24, and Woodrow moved up 1 spot in those rankings. These are the proficiency rates for the high schools on this next slide. If anyone has a red check mark there, those schools increased in all 3 areas, math, ELA, and science. So Independence and Shady Spring High School did that. If you'll notice also, Shady Spring High School had a 17% increase in their ELA proficiency. So we had 2 areas we stayed the same, and then Woodrow dropped in ELA. Now these are 11th grade SAT scores, is what you see here. Next is our middle schools, and so we kind of had some drops here. You'll see that chart, but Independence Middle School did move up to 26th. I think it's kind of interesting that Park is 25th, Independence 26th, Shady Middle 35th, and Trap Hill is 36th. So they're all gaining on each other and right there together. So looking at their proficiency rates, you'll see that Independence and Trap Hill increased in all 3 areas. All of our middle schools had a proficiency increase in math. ELA, 3 of them, 1 dropped, Park had a drop, and then Beckley Stratton stayed the same. And then you'll see the 2 increases in science. So you can see there, Trap Hill had a substantial increase in Independence in their science scores. And then Trap Hill had a great increase in ELA. Okay, so now we're going to look at our elementary. We have those on two different slides here. So I have them based on their rankings. So you'll see there that Crescent now is our top performing school as far as ranks. Then Maxwell Hill, Stanford, Hollywood, and we go on down through there. So Maxwell Hill they were already very high, and they gained 46 places. Shady Elementary, 32. And then if you look at our next slide, and I know that they're still hanging out here, Mabscott and Cranberry gained 101 places for Mabscott and 103 for Cranberry. We're going to look at their proficiency rates here in a second, but that is fabulous, and we're super proud of them. If you'll recall, Mabscott and Marsh Fork were on the CSI schools, and so that means they were kind of looking at them, and they were meeting with them, and Mabscott has done a great job bringing that up. Marsh Fork did as well, but we're super proud of those schools. Now you'll see there, you'll probably ask about Clear Fork. They are not involved in rankings because their science only had 9 students that tested. So you have to have 10 or more, or you can't be involved in that. It's still part of our accountability data, and they had a huge increase in science, so it did help our county, but they don't put those in there specifically so you can't identify students based on scores. So here's our elementary performance. This is the first list. You'll see Beckley and Cranberry increased in all areas. And I want you to really take a look at that Cranberry. They did a fantastic job, over double digits with science and ELA, and then 8% in, double digits in math and science, and ELA was 8%. And then you'll see some increases there in Fairdale and those other schools there. But Beckley and Cranberry on this list increased everywhere. This is where I was talking about Clear Fork. Their science went up 30%. So that was a small group of kids, but that's still a huge growth from 14 to 44. We were teasing her that maybe she hired Bill Nye, the science guy, for this year. And here's our next list. And you'll see Mabscott, Maxwell Hill, Shady Spring, and Stratton all increased in all 3 areas there. Mabscott had 12% in math increase and 19 in science and 6 in ELA. So once again, kudos to them. They did a fantastic job under their leadership. It takes them all, students and teachers, but they did a great job just sticking to that. She put a lot of things into place that we have shared with other schools, like coaching model that has really worked well with them. Maxwell Hill also had substantial gains. They were already very high, but they've gone up to 75% in math, 68 in ELA, and 50 in science. You have any questions so far?
My question I would have, and I'm not picking on anybody, but I've always been bragging on Hollywood, but they took a substantial drop in every category this year.
Correct.
Is there a change in staff? Is there something going on, or we just,
So these scores just came back in the past week and a half. So we are meeting with principals individually, all schools, but definitely that one. We're going to put some already PD in there on, especially the math. But we are meeting with her to find out what is the root cause or causes. How can we support them? That is something that we are concerned about.
The scores are still higher than a lot of people.
Absolutely. But we don't want to see that. Right.
But when they were knocking out the park so much, to lose that much is just
Correct.
stands out.
Right. They went from 7th to 44th, which is really a drastic drop. Yes. Now Hollywood did lose some teachers for this year, but we're going to work with them because we definitely don't want to see that. Those schools bring us up, and that's what helps us, and we really want that. So this next slide, you see our cohorts. So it's each grade level. If you go across the row, then you'll see third grade. So that's just each kid that's in third. But if you look at the colors, you're following the same group of kids. So you'll see in that light yellow that was our third grade in 21. Then they went to 4th, 5th, 6th, and so forth, or not 6th, 7th, 8th, and 11th. And some of those had some drops, but what I do like seeing, if you look in that last column for 2025, our third graders have the highest math that they've had in years. Same with our 4th, And as we go through there, I think we're going to see some good changes with math with some of the things that we've put into place. And then that last slide just shows some of the practices that we're continuing or implementing. Something new that we're doing is we've actually purchased PSAT. We use some Gear Up funds and then some Step 7. And so we're using the purchase for PSAT to diagnostic with our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders to give us some comparable data, because the SAT that's what's important. That's what matters to them. It'll be comparable for what they do in 11th grade on SAT school day. We're going to continue the Mastery Prep SAT boot camps, the Science of Reading tutoring, after school, extended day and extended year. And we've added ECATs in 3rd grades that have over 12 students. So we'll have those ECATs working with small groups. And you'll see some of the other things that we're putting into place there. Now, the balanced scorecard has not been released, and so we don't know if we're going to have any schools on watch. We're anticipating that possibly with some subgroups. But if you look at your sheet, the ones that you see in the pink all met their targets. We have annual targets that have to be met each year. So as far as their whole group as a school, anyone in pink there met their target. So that is more than we typically have. So we were pleased with that. And then the very last sheet you have, it says scale scores. That's just what I wanted to show you that we're going to really work with this year. You'll see I put one cohort in yellow. You have that on that last, is that on the last page? Yeah. Yeah, and so that's one cohort, the 3rd grade, as they've moved through the years, and those are scale scores. So that's what we really want to see increase, because regardless of where you are you growing? And so that cohort you can see has grown from 3rd, and then in the math as well, and that's what we want to see there. So we're working with scale scores a lot this year too. Are there any questions about that? About the data?
Only comment I would have, and I look at the products and things you're doing for 25, 26. In my mind, not just mine, the most important thing you're doing is the coaching and reinforcing for the teachers, because you can buy all kinds of new gadgets and new programs for the students, but unless your staff is efficient in that, unless they have the mastery of that and able to relay that to the students, because I always say there's nothing more important than that person for the classroom. That's the person who. These test scores are all based on that.
Absolutely.
That's who makes the test scores go up or down, okay? The teacher. I mean, parents at home can influence some of that, but teachers, you can probably go back and track those outstanding teachers and their test scores. And I can just put a line right across to them.
Absolutely. And if we've pulled each teacher, you can definitely see that. Research shows that you can't outbuy a teacher. Right, I mean, a good teacher, great principals hire great people. Right. And that's definitely, we want to support them. We do have some coaching models we're bringing in. Our coaches are working with them. We meet with them also, those schools, some that need some more support. And monitoring has a lot to do with that too.
And we've, right, wrong, or indifferent, we've lost a bunch of students. And because we had those students, we had a lot of long-term subs, a lot of people who, nothing by their fault, but maybe they had a degree in business and now they're teaching math. Okay, yes. That's just the way it is. And now we have, I saw the other day, Liberty said they had the first time they've had all fully certified teachers in the building. It's one teacher said she could remember.
That's fantastic.
Thanks. So, now I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with those long-term subs, but we have people now who are trained in education, they're certified in their fields, and hopefully those relate to better test scores.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
No unfinished business.
No,
I'm sorry, we missed one.
Yeah. Can't raise it down yet.
Oh, you want to talk about Carnegie?
I do. So you'll have this packet with some pie graphs. Last spring, you approved a pretty substantial amount of funding to bring in Carnegie Summer Academy. And we held that this summer for ELA and math at all grade levels. I just wanted to report out a little bit on this. It proved to be fantastic and made an impact on our teachers. We had 133 teachers attend. 117 attended all 5 days. 24.7% of them asked or purchased the graduate credit for this course. And if you look through there, 76% found the session applicable for their, or extremely applicable for their classroom. The other 22.7 was fairly applicable. 77% found it extremely engaging. And you'll see some other data there that 82.5% want us to offer it in the future. And then some of the comments that are towards the back page, I just want to read a few that I've highlighted. I think that this is we had 75 responses. I think this is the most applicable training I've had with Raleigh County Schools. The activities will help build community in my classroom. I would gladly spend another week of my summer for it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This has been one of my favorite PDs that I have been to. This helped us to understand how intimidating place value is to students who aren't understanding it. This was one of the most fantastic trainings I've had. And as a special education teacher, I feel like my kids would benefit from some of these strategies. And these go on. One that I wanted to read also said, I'm a national board certified teacher. I appreciate this professional development for supplying the rigor that is needed at the high school level. And they talk about a deeper understanding of fractions, and some of those go on. One said, we were put in a position to see things through the lens of a student. It taught me about the stress and difficulties that students go through. I'm taking so much back to my classroom, and I'm excited about it. So these are just some of the comments that we had based on the Academy. It is something that we would like to bring back if the funding is there. We use some Gear Up and some teacher leader induction money. So it's something we're going to also, you talked about the long-term subs. We're going to bring them in for like a one-day session, 1 or 2 for our long-term subs once we get those in place. And we're working with Solution Tree for our beginning teachers.
Quick question on long-term subs. Just do we have or do we work with some of those long-term subs if that's where they want to be, to actually become accredited and certified teachers? Is there anything we have? I mean, I know people have been long-term subs for 5-6 years. They're still just do we have any incentives or anything or help them or even coach or help them to get a course to finally get to a certified position?
Can I say that we can help all of them get certified if they want? No, I can't say that. But yes, we've offered different ways. I know the HR department works closely with some to help them determine which route, because the state, when I worked at the State Department, I mean, we were just starting alternative routes. Now there are so many alternative routes to certification. I know Ms. Samanko and Ms. Meadows, they work closely with teachers long-term subs to guide them if they want to be.
Right.
We have some that don't want to be.
I understand that.
It's just mixed. If I recall, this was before I was superintendent. I believe Mr. Sexton worked with special ed subs
He did,
to help them become certified if they wanted to be. So yes, we do provide support and assistance when we can to help people if they want to be certified.
How many non-certified are we having this year? Do we know yet?
I don't have that number. Ms. Samanko's coming forward. I would say the large numbers in special education, but I don't know the count.
I don't have the number off the top of my head, and I can have that for you for the next meeting, but I can tell you we have more people that are already on the alternative certification track to get to licensure than before, because that is such a lucrative area right now. There's so many ways to get there. So we have more people on that track than before. We have less people on out-of-field permits than we have had in the past. So, but I can get those numbers for you for next meeting.
Thank you.
I will just to add, Miss Akert is sitting back there, and she seems to not be able to stop asking for staff as she laughs. No, she's been doing a wonderful job reviewing IEPs and working with her staff. the number, percentage of students with IEPs continues to increase. Whether it's a teacher or an aide, we've had to add multiple over the last, I want to say it's maybe 8 or 9 positions over the last week or so to meet the requirements specified in IEPs. So that's Ms. Akerd will be, working throughout the year to make sure we're maximizing the use of our special educators, whether that be teachers or classroom aides. But again, we continue to add staff there. I just received another request today for Independence Middle special education staff. So I'm hopeful that the legislature will eventually give us some more funding for special education students. Obviously, we want to best educate all of our students, and some just need more support than one classroom teacher is able to provide. But Ms. Akerd is carefully reviewing all staffing, and we're working through that. But you will see a number of special education positions posted because of this review.
One thing about that needs to be said is because of our drop in enrollment and increase, it's actually a higher percent of our student body. And another reason for that is because legislators have decided that they'll provide other alternatives, not for special ed kids, but for kids who want Hope or charter or whatever.
Yep.
So those children leave our system, but they don't have funding out there for these kids who are in need. So the only thing these kids have, the only resource these children have is us.
Yep.
And I'm glad to say that it is us, and we can do the job, and we'll do it. But it is sad that they don't fund it at the level they do a private school out there.
I absolutely agree. I think we're their best. I think we're the best. Well, I'd like to believe we're the best option for any child. But our educators and staff are certainly, in my opinion, the best equipped to support students who have a special need, whatever that need may be. So again, Ms. Akerd's working really hard with her staff. She has a lot of new staff in terms of new to positions, but they're working really hard to make sure we're providing the absolute best services to our students. But it is requiring some additional staff to be posted based upon IEPs.
Thank you. No unfinished business. Policies and procedures. The following policy has completed a 30-day comment period. Revisions of policy 8.2, orientation of new board members.
President Ford, no comments were received during the 30-day comment period. So my recommendation is to approve the policy as presented.
Okay, y'all have heard the recommendation. Have a motion. Motion's moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Consent items A, B, C, D, and E. Is there any objection to approving those altogether?
I move we approve the consent items as were furnished to us.
Motion's moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. New business. Consider approval of the agreement with WV Video Productions and Raleigh County Schools for 2025-26 school year. Mr. Dillon, is he saying anything? Did he leave?
Mr. Dillon had to leave. So before you board members is the video streaming agreement that Mr. Dillon worked with Video Productions to develop. This is the first video streaming agreement we have. Mr. Dillon is aware that there's another entity wanting to, outside entity, wanting to do video streaming. So he will be working with that. Assuming you approve this evening, Mr. Dillon will be working with any other companies, external companies who would like to video stream any of our events to create agreements like this, and we'd be bringing those back to you for approval. But this one before you tonight is with Video Productions. We do have representatives from the company here, Mr. Dillon did apologize that he had to leave, but he also shared with me that thanks to Video Productions, this, in his knowledge, this would be the first week that we will have all 4 high school games live broad or streamed through Video Productions. So it's a great opportunity. And again, should you approve this agreement, this is for 1 year. And should you approve this one, please expect additional agreements before you in the near future. Yes, did you have a question? Oh, I'll do my best.
I talked to Mr. I was just going to agree with Mr. Dillon, and I'm glad that Video Productions here. I salute you guys for coming to us and doing this. But I think we need to make sure that the other players in the game are paying their fees too.
Absolutely.
Okay? So there's a number of other people that are doing what, or not trying to do what you do. Okay, and those they do it. They're trying to do what you do, and if they're going to do that, then there should be some compensation back, which I think this will eventually filter back to the schools.
It will.
We haven't
Yes, sir.
talked about that much, but we'll do something like that. But I know of at least one, maybe 2 more. So at the price of this, that could be $12,000. That would be nice money coming back to the schools.
Yes, we fully intend for the funding to go to the schools, and you are correct. Mr. Dillon was made aware today of another company.
Yes.
So he will be working on that promptly so that the schools receive compensation or payment from all companies that are live streaming. Now, I do want to make sure to say, I know Independence High School has, I want to say it's Cold Camp TV, and this does not affect them. I know there was a question, it's a school, and that's what our students do. That there is no fee for them. It's
Right,
their
I
own
understand that.
But
But if there's a commercial entity such as Southern Communication or
Correct.
Metro News that's doing it, then they need to be it needs to be the same level field for everybody. Okay.
I absolutely agree. There can be from working with Mr. Dillon, there can be multiple companies live streaming.
Sure.
But we've received the question,
Yeah.
is the student,
No.
and I'm like, no, they don't have to pay. That's a school club class, but any external company will need to enter into an agreement with the board to live stream the.
My question is,
Okay.
are they going to be competing against each other, all of these video?
They probably will,
Different
but
ones?
that's their thing.
That's just. Yeah.
But offer different. Everybody offers different quality, different things. They have different announcers. Yeah. They don't sell on it. So, and these companies sell their ads.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them sell their own ads, different things and stuff. That's their income sources. Let's be honest. That's what that is. Some of the thing about. So, yeah, but they all need to be on the same level field. And they all need to have an agreement with us. Just not there. Everybody kind of doing their own little thing.
Well, and it would not be, in my opinion, it's not appropriate that one company pays and
Right.
the others don't.
Exactly.
That's not fair to Video Productions in this
No,
case.
it's not.
So yes, Mr. Dillon will be working on that promptly.
I
and bring
think
it
make
back.
the schools aware too, because I think some of the schools think they can just cut their own deal.
That is likely correct.
Okay,
Mr. Dillon will take care of that.
Okay, take care. Good deal.
Thank you. It is my recommendation the board approve this agreement with Video Productions for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, y'all have heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the agreement with Video Productions for Raleigh County Schools for 25-26.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck. Okay, consider approval of the request for exemption to the 4-year attendance requirements. Ms. Hodges.
Good evening. This evening, I'm asking approval for 59 requests for the exception to 4-year attendance. We have 13 college requests and 46 work requests this time. That's 59 seniors in Raleigh County Schools.
Okay,
Any
do we have a
questions?
motion? Any discussion? Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Consider approval of the granting access for the Girl Scouts of Black Diamond Council and Boy Scouts of America to speak with and recruit students under West Virginia House Bill 4863, Article 2, 18.2.4, Patriotic Access to Student in School Act.
President Ford and board members, if you recall last year, that was the first year that House Bill 4863 was in effect. And there's a copy of that bill for you, but in letter C, second page, it says the Patriotic Society, in this case, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, must notify the Board of Education of its intent to speak to students. Upon approval from the board, the Patriotic Society shall provide verbal written notice to the principal. So we're here tonight. Both entities have reached out and asked for approval from the board so that they can speak to our students. And in accordance with the law, I would recommend that approval be granted.
Move we approve the grant of access of the Girl Scouts Black Diamond Council and the Boy Scouts of America and in compliance with the law or House Bill 4863.
Motion is moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Approve superintendent's recommendations for personnel 25-26 school year.
Board members, as Ms. Samanko comes forward, I want to say I do acknowledge there are several to be in TBAs on this. This is the number of TBAs is allowing us to be ready to move forward with weapons detection systems. So Ms. Samanko will walk you through that, but that is the reason for so many.
Good evening, everyone. And as Dr. Starcher mentioned, we do have multiple additions through the TBA lines and a few revisions, so please bear with me. On your copies, you'll see that I have highlighted anything that was a change from the recos that were pushed out and published. So on page 1, we have a correction. It was listed under Angela Pretty as a 220-day employment term. That need to be corrected to 215. On line B of page 1, you'll see that was a TBA. That is now Scotty Weiss. And the effective date of Nurse Weiss will be 9/15/2025. At the bottom of page 1, Melody Cox, teacher at Shady Spring Middle, that is extending a medical leave. Those dates are from 10/30/2024 through 10/18/2025. On page 3, correction in section B, Jennifer Dickerson, that was originally listed as a non-paid position, but that is a paid position. So we've removed non-paid. And then we have the additions of the TBAs for Academy of Careers and Technology. That is Heather James, David Pack, Sarah Rahal, Joshua Reeve, David Richmond, Celeste Robinson, and Danny Treadway, recommended for security entrance monitors for ACT. On page 4, Melina Belcher, Crystal Holhauser, recommended security entrance monitors for Independence High School. Matthew Benefield, Shayna Benefield, and Donna Sauls, security entrance monitors for Liberty High School. Amanda Cooper, Timothy Fama, William Wood, Christina Furrow, Samuel Gross, and Brianna Mead, security entrance monitors for Shady Spring High. And Michelle Clarkson, Allison Frost, Ronald Kidd, Stephen Kidd, Robert McLean, Brandon Peters, and Robert Quessenberry, security entrance monitors for Woodrow Wilson High. At the bottom of the page under section A, For the aides, you'll see there's an addition of the word itinerant, Heather Cook, Instructional Bus Multicat Aid 2 Itinerant. On page 5, I neglected to put a heading, so please note that I added the substitute heading. And those are the recommended additions and revisions.
Your recommendation?
My recommendation is as presented with the corrections noted by Ms. Samanko.
Okay, I have a question, just to, maybe it's coming late. When we look at the security monitors, it comes down to me that Independence only has 2. They have more coming, or is that just, they're going to just do it with just 2?
They should have more coming. This was who applied at this time, so the high school principals are trying to get other people to
Do it.
sign up to be a security entrance monitor or to apply to be. But this is what we have now.
Okay.
And the high school principals are actively trying to secure additional people.
Well, for the system to work, I mean, we have to have monitors. So if they don't, the administrative staff has to do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully, people will agree to do it. I mean, they are being paid, obviously. So hopefully more will agree to do it. But you are correct.
Yeah.
When things aren't done, it falls on the administrator.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I just saw that, it kind of stuck out to me. So with that said, I would move we approve the superintendent's recommendation as was submitted to us with the corrections noted.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We do thank you for coming. All we have on our agenda, this meeting is adjourned.